we're going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to do some embroidery on photographs. Now, I've seen this done to great effect on people's wedding photographs. They kind of bring out the bridal bouquet, or they have a nice image behind the happy couple. Also seen it work really well on photographs of children, adding some nice flowers, that kind of thing. I've just got a little pack of some of them are photographs, most of them are postcards from the internet, from eBay. I won't be able to use these. These are backed onto sort of really stiff card. But if you wanted to do something like that, you could do a design on fabric and then glue it on. We are going to work, I think, with these nice women in their lovely swimsuits. It's quite thin, so what I've decided to do is do like a backing of masking tape. If you're using modern day photographs, it's not really going to be a problem because they are quite thick, but there is always the risk when you're embroidering on paper or photographs or card that you're going to rip it, so do be really mindful of that. Do get copies of any photographs that you're using to make sure you don't damage originals. So I'm just going to cover the back in a layer of tape, which hopefully will make it more secure. That is the sewing area, so I'm going to do the swimsuits and I might do like some sunshine behind them. I think it mainly works best on a black and white photograph with your colours coming from your embroidery threads. I'm going to just use, I've got some scraps just next to me, so we're going to have blue, green, nice bright colours, and this purple, I think. Maybe some sunshine, don't want to overdo it, it's only a small photograph. And you're going to need a needle, obviously, but what we're going to do is pre-stab holes in the photograph. I have some stencils here for sashiko. So I'm going to use these to make sure I get a nice clear pattern. I'm going to stab a hole at one end and the other end of each mark. And we're going to have some different patterns. I think we can just about fit some different patterns on the swimsuits. They're not very big. Might do a sunshine. So we're going to add some card under our photograph to protect your work surface. We've got a needle. It needs to be quite sharp, but it will get blunter as we go along. And we're just going to try and stab some holes in the photograph. Even if you do like sort of marker holes, and then we can add the rest sort of deeper holes later. That might be how we have to do it. Yeah, you can see that has gone all the way through. Just going to make them slightly bigger because obviously we will be pulling our thread through. Alright, let's carry on. I'm going to try not to move it again now. So you can probably just make them out on the back, they are coming through, but we're just going to re-stab them a little bit. There we go, first one stabbed. These, the hole that goes here and here, obviously very close together, so when you are pulling through your thread you need to be careful. Right, we want some different patterns on the next two. That might work. This one will. I'll just maybe have a big star in the middle of her outfit. This kind of thing would make a really good card for someone's birthday or celebration of some kind, either using a photograph of them or something random like this. You could put a funny comment on it. These sort of headshots I think might be quite good with sort of snarky comments on them as well as the embroidery. Right, one more. Right, I'm going to use quite a small needle, so I've made the holes a bit bigger, but I'm going to use quite a small needle and just 2 strands of thread because you don't want to be dragging a big mass that knots up or anything through your hole because it might damage it. So the first pattern was just lines going down. This would be good to use up scraps of thread because it doesn't take a lot. So you will have to keep looking at the back to find your hole. Don't rush it in case you damage it. So I'm basically just going to be doing running stitch or straight stitches. You can do other stitches, especially ones that sort of sit on the surface work well, like woven, rose, something like that, whipped back stitch, if you wanted to get different effects. So we're going to start in the centre. Cut out. And come around at the top and go back to the centre. You can do it however you want, really. You don't have to use a stencil either, you can just create it how you want to. I just thought it would give my stitches all the same length and size and a pattern as well without having to think too much about it. There we go. I actually like the sunline, so I might go and I might add some more in to make a bit more of a dramatic effect. There we have the finished photograph.